Welcome back, boys and girls, to another exciting TheKillerNacho Wi-Fi battle. And this time I am taking on Corvus again. I believe I battled him once in the past in Underused, but this time we are just going Overused. So going to be trying to use one of the newly released Megas, which is Mega Latios. Well, I should say newly released. It actually was released quite a bit ago, but yeah. I never really liked the Mega Latios because I never felt like they were a significant enough upgrade to warrant using them, but let's just go ahead and give this a shot. So he's going to go ahead and lead with Mew, as I decide to lead with Tangrowth. And, yeah, this is kind of a neutral matchup here. He's going to go ahead and knock off my Assault Vest, which is going to obviously not be great because, my Tangrowth is, Tangrowth, naturally is more physically defensive, so it kind of relies on that Assault Vest to be able to live hits. I knock off him, though, right back, and that's going to be super effective and knock off his item. And now he's just going to go for a Psyshock, which I don't think I would have actually done that much of Tangrowth, but it's even better because I just go into Latios, and that's going to be resisted, and I'm going to be able to get my Mega Evolution into Mega Latios. And I'm just going to go for a Draco Meteor, not knowing what he would do, and he, like I said, just stays in, which should be a KO here, and indeed it is. So in comes his Deontay, I believe, which of course is his Mega. Mega Deontay is such a massive threat. In fact, probably one of my favorite overall Mega Evolutions as far as playstyle goes. And it is a huge offensive threat once it Mega Evolves, and I do not want to get caught in the wake of a Moonblast. Luckily, I did bring Celesteela, which is pretty much a hard counter to Deontay. Deontay obviously X4 weak to Steel, and has a hard time dealing damage to them as well, especially ones that cannot be hit by Earth Power. So, yeah, he's just going to go for a Moonblast. It does absolutely nothing to me. But as we saw, if you noticed in his team preview, he actually brings both trappers in the OU metagame, Magnezone and Dugtrio. And that is one of the interesting things about his team. So, I'm pretty sure Magnezone's going to try to come in here. So I decided to go into my Heatran, which he also traps, of course. But I'm actually Scarftran. You know, Scarftran living on as I just go for a Lava Plume. And that is actually going to do good damage to him. And he's just going to go ahead and Volt Switch, and he goes into his Dugtrio. Now, I have to hope that this isn't a Scarf set, and indeed it is not, so Scarftran able to get really, really solid damage on both of his Trappers, which he is probably relying on here to limit the stall game of his opponents, and I actually did bring some of his stall team, so it's pretty darn amazing to get this Dugtrio down to red health, and as well, his Magnezone, which is really going to limit what he can do, so even though Heatran didn't get a KO, definitely helping out there. So in comes my Celesteela again, and I decided to just go for the Leech Seed. I know his Magnezone is pretty weak at this point, so I'm not 100% sure he would go into it, and even if he does, I do have Protect, and instead he's just going to go into Araquanid. And I'm not really sure what Araquanid can do to me, but I'm just going to go ahead and switch out anyway now that I have this thing Leech Seeded. I decided to go out into Chansey, just in case he decides to, like, Scald. I don't even know. He said he just goes for the Liquidation, which I guess does more damage to Chansey than anything else, but, that he could probably do. But, yeah, Chansey obviously doesn't have great defenses, although Eviolite pretty much moots that point, and it becomes, just pretty much invulnerable to special attacks. So in comes a Tapu Koko, and the fact he's coming in here kind of tips me off that this might be a physical set, but at the same time, I'm not 100% sure. I decided to go into, no, I decided to stay in. I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure that this thing can't kill me unless, maybe with a Gigavolt Havoc, the Z move that sometimes these things run, assuming that it's physical. So I decided to stay in and see what he does. He goes for the Brave Bird, so he's probably predicting Tangrowth, which is amazing for me, and he decides to switch out here, which tells me this thing is probably Choice Banded, which means, yeah, I might be able to just actually wall this thing, even if he does Wild Charge. So, I'm just going to go ahead and Seismic Toss as he switches out into Spider Dance, which I really, really hope was a reference to Undertale, one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. But if not, it's whatever. Anyway, he's just going to go back into Tapu Koko. After what, his red card, or no, he's whatever. He got the free switch into Tapu Koko. And this time he is going to Wild Charge as I go to Tangrowth, not thinking that he would go for the Brave Bird again, which is amazing for me, and that's going to do absolutely nothing to Tangrowth, and he's going to go out into his Araquanid again, which is actually just going to die to the Stealth Rock, so yeah, pretty cool. I'll just go for the Earthquake, but it doesn't hit anything. Anyway, in comes Steel Slayer again, his Magnezone, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to Earthquake, you're crap. Even if you have Hidden Power Fire, which most of these do, I don't think you kill me, even without my Assault Vest. And indeed it doesn't. I'm able to go ahead and finish off the Magnezone. And, yeah, he's just gonna go, I believe, back into Tapu Koko, which could threaten me. Sorry, no, he goes into, Deontay. That's right, which threatens me with literally anything, because anything that it uses would probably kill Tangrowth. So out goes Tangrowth. I go into Celesteela, knowing that he really can't do much Celesteela, barring a Hidden Power Fire, Electric, which I really don't see. He's going to Diamond Storm, which is actually a physical move, and neutral to me, but doesn't really do much, as you can see. He is going to switch out. He goes out into his Tapu Koko again, as I just go for a Heavy Slam. Unfortunately for him, he's at half HP, so my Heavy Slam should be able to, well, knock out this Koko, and indeed it does. But he does have a surprise up his sleeve, even though he's behind in this match. He's going to surprise me here, and something that I had no idea, and who can even keep track of these, I'm sure some people can, but these fields in Gen 7. Apparently using Nature Power in the electric terrain makes it turn into Thunderbolt, which will kill Celesteela. I had no idea, but pretty awesome play there. I'm just going to go into Tangrowth, though. And he's down to 2 Pokemon. He has to hope that he can KO with Moonblast, but even without my Assault Vest, I'm able to live it and get off that Leaf Storm. His last Pokemon is Dugtrio, which will be able to actually live a Stealth Rock hit. However, and he would be able to kill Tangrowth here if he wanted to. Instead, he just goes for the Memento, I guess, just kind of, you know, admitting defeat. But good game there, Corvus. I hope to have another one with you real soon. And today's question of the day is going to be this. What is your favorite trapping Pokemon in pretty much any tier? Because obviously Shadow Tag is just always uber. But just leave a comment about whatever trapping Pokemon appeals to you the most. Now, obviously, Shadow Tag Pokemon are not eligible in OU, but you can still use them in other metas. Or you might have used them in the past. Of course, there's also Magnezone and his steel trapping with Magnet Pole, and of course Dugtrio with Arena Trap, and yeah, so leave a comment about that. As for me, it's probably going to be Dugtrio. It's a Gen 1 Pokemon. I'm kind of an old school guy, so to speak, and Arena Trap is always kind of just this staple thing of Dugtrio. While Shadow Tag has always just been kind of OP, and I do like Magnet Pole too, but, you know, leave a comment about that. Thank you for, watching this video, and I hope that you rate, comment, subscribe. It's also worth noting that I think, doesn't the Alolan Golem also get Magnet Pole, I think, now? And Probopass? But I don't think Probopass really has a way to deal with it. But anyway, leave a comment about that, and I hope to see you guys again next time. Later.